Daily, mechanics abide by the Mechanics Creed to help keep in our minds the importance of our responsibilities and the professionalism required in order to provide safe aircraft within our country's transportation systems. As we progress into the ranks of supervision and management, we are faced with a new set of challenges. The Management Creed was written for managers as a reminder that we also need a commitment to another set of responsibilities in providing an environment that will allow fellow mechanics to uphold the Mechanics Creed, to foster good teamwork and communication, and provide for continued high safety standards in the aviation maintenance arena.
Hey, I'm Aaron Tippin. Got a few minutes? I want to tell you about some buddies of mine. The FAA's Faasteam, and something new that they're cooking up for us AMTs. That's right. Just like you, I'm a bona fide, true-to-life, certified A&P mechanic. Heck, I was in the aviation business long before I got into singing for my supper. My dad received the FAA's Master Pilot Award, and my Uncle Billy is a holder of the Charles Taylor Master Mechanic Award and my #1 mechanic. We'll talk more about those awards later. You might say that aviation is in my blood, and it's in the blood of my two boys, Ted and Tom. You know, the FAA Faasteam is really digging into the data to determine what it is that we AMTs do that cause accidents and incidents. Here, let me show you something. General aviation accidents make up the majority, 90% of all aircraft accidents in the United States each year. The number of aircraft accidents that occur each year has continued to be on a downward trend. While the trend is encouraging, we still have far too many accidents, and we have to keep working to reduce the number. Out of all the accidents each year, only a small portion are maintenance related. The majority consist of pilot error. 3/4 of maintenance related accidents are caused by mechanics not following procedures and not performing inspections properly. About 1/4 are caused by pilots not maintaining their aircraft correctly or incorrectly performing preventative maintenance. While maintenance-caused accidents represent a small portion of all accidents, they are more often fatal than other accidents.
I got a guitar that you gotta plug in and a stack of screaming amps twisted way past 10.
Hey, I'll bet most of you already know this, but there may be a few of you that don't, so listen up. Ever been to FAAsafety.gov? Why not? Let me get my friend Liz Corey to fill you in on this. You need to know about this and use this great site.
Aviation is a partnership between operators and maintainers. Safe air operations are dependent on the educated dedication of all airmen. To this end, the FAA Safety Team offers its web application, FAAsafety.gov. Here, using the accessibility and flexibility of the Internet, we provide current aviation data, online learning programs, and focused aviation resource links. Our goal is to foster continuing safety education for all airmen. At the maintenance hangar on FAAsafety.gov, airmen find current resource materials and policy documents specifically of interest to mechanics. You will also find a quarterly publication, the Nuts and Bolts newsletter, with tech forums, ISDRs, the Internet Service Difficulty Reporting System. The maintenance hangar lists more than 1,300 sources for inspection authorization refresher courses with description, location, and contact information. The FAA recognizes the critical role maintainers play in producing safe operations year after year, and this dedication deserves recognition. We have revised, updated, and automated the Aviation Maintenance Technician Awards Program, or the AMT Awards Program, so that we can continue to recognize individual airmen and companies who demonstrate their investment in safety through continuing education. And we've made that process more current and available through the web at FAASafety.gov. Just as the Wings Pilot Proficiency Program was transformed to reflect risk management and risk mitigation based on accident causal factors, so too is the AMT Awards Program. By studying accident data, the Faasteam and its volunteers have prepared training courses addressing the issues revealed by the data. The courses AMTs can take online and receive AMT Awards Program credit automatically. Data currently shows the #1 enemy of technicians contributing to accidents and incidents is failure to follow procedures. Core training on this topic is on FAASafety.gov. An AMT can register at FAASafety.gov, take the training online, get credit for the course automatically, and it's free. Another change we are very happy about is the paperwork issue for the AMT Awards Program. Technicians can, after registering on FAASafety.gov, upload their training along with the date the training was received, and a record is automatically generated. This means the records go with the technicians, even if they change companies during a year. If you have not been on FAASafety.gov recently, or if you've never ventured there, I urge you to visit the site today. You'll see improved menus and help screens. If you're interested in getting more involved, check out the About the Faasteam pull-down menu. Along with Faasteam news, safety tips, and our mission statement, you can apply online to become a Faasteam representative, the backbone of our safety outreach. Along with the maintenance hangar, the Learning Center boasts a more robust advanced research engine and an expanded online course catalog. There's a toll-free support line, easy help links throughout, and an easy way to get important notices about fast-breaking aviation news. We've grown beyond simply events and notices to become your dedicated aviation safety resource. Take full advantage of this free and constantly evolving application. We want to make continuing education and aviation safety as close as your fingertips. Join the team now. Let us know how we can improve, and let's be safe out there. In partnership, we can create the changes to keep our industry safe and continue to make it thrive.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. See you, buddy. That's my good friend, Phil Randall. He's the Assistant National Faasteam Manager, and you're going to hear more from him later. But for now, let's take a look at what he just gave me. This is a personal minimums checklist. Phil gave me one of these several years ago, and I've used it ever since. Do you use yours? Why not? If you don't have one, contact your local Faasteam program manager. It could save your life or the lives of the people that depend on you doing your job right. Remember the chart from a little while ago? We AMTs have the tendency not to follow procedures. You know that if every one of us would follow the before and after steps, there would be no aircraft accidents due to AMTs not following procedures. Like I said, I use it, and it may have kept me or my Uncle Billy from making a mistake that we couldn't live with.
Federal Aviation Administration DOT FAA objective: personal evaluation by the aviation maintenance technician before and after accomplishing a maintenance task. Before the task. The following areas should be considered before accomplishing the task to assure the task is completed to the highest level of safety. Maintenance personal minimums. Given a personal checklist with areas to be considered before and after the job task, the maintenance technician will be able to determine the task was completed to industry standards and self-assessment. Do I have the knowledge to perform the task? Formal training, OJT training, self-study, training specific to the task to be accomplished, specialized training, recurrent training. Do I have the technical data to perform the task? Manufacturer maintenance manuals, aircraft specifications, type data sheets, service bulletins, service letters, airworthiness directives, drawings and blueprints, supplemental type certificates. Have I performed the task previously? All the elements considered for the task. Routine or complex operation. Do I need training or supervision to complete the task? Regulation requires it. Do I have the proper tools and equipment to perform the task? Calibrated tools, test equipment, specialized rigging tools, special assembly and disassembly tools, test stands, support stands, proper hoisting equipment. Have I had the proper training to support the job task? Aircraft or component type specific, specialized training, composites, NDT, complex skills needed, system specific, human factors training considerations. Am I mentally prepared to perform the task? Stress from home or work situations, mental distractions, thinking about other things, time frames, pressures to get the job done, overload, more work than you can handle. Am I physically prepared to perform the task? Use all of our senses, sight, hearing, smell, touch, and taste. Rested, environmental conditions, healthy, physical condition. Have I taken the proper safety precautions? Protective clothing, gloves, goggles, and so forth. Personal safety equipment, ventilation equipment. Proper tools, electric tools versus air tools. Identification, tagging, safety streamers, safety locks, such as landing gear. Do I have the resources available to perform the task? Money, parts, manpower, facilities. Have I researched the federal aviation regulations to ensure compliance? Current regulation review for the work to be accomplished. Am I able to determine that the regulation is applicable and appropriate for the task being performed? Review of airworthiness directives to assure I have completed all airworthiness requirements. After the task, review of all the areas that were affected to accomplish the task. Did I perform the tasks to the best of my abilities? Self-assessment to determine that the work performed met all the methods, techniques, and practices as prescribed by industry standards. Work was accomplished in a manner that was not less than what my performance was capable of. Was the job task performed to be equal to the original? Each person maintaining or altering or performing preventative maintenance shall do that work in such a manner and use materials of such a quality that the condition of the airframe, aircraft engine, propeller, or appliance worked on will it be at least equal to its original or properly altered condition. Was the job task performed in accordance with appropriate data? Each person performing maintenance, alteration, or preventative maintenance shall use the methods, techniques, and practices prescribed in the manufacturer's maintenance manual or data acceptable to the administrator. Did I use all methods, techniques, and practices acceptable to the industry? Each person performing maintenance, alterations, and preventative maintenance shall use the tools, equipment, and test apparatus necessary to assure completion of work in accordance with industry practices. Did I perform the job task without pressures, stress, or distractions? Reevaluation of the job task may need to be considered if the job was accomplished under those conditions. As a reminder, the aircraft must be in a condition for safe operation. Did I re-inspect my work or have someone inspect my work before return to service? Perform the inspection as to determine whether the aircraft or portions thereof under inspection meets all applicable airworthiness requirements. Did I make the proper record entries for the work performed? Each person who maintains, performs preventative maintenance, rebuilds or alters an airframe, aircraft engine, propeller appliance, or component part shall make an entry in the maintenance record of that equipment. Major repairs and alterations shall be entered on a form, such as FAA Form 337. Did I perform the operational checks after the work was completed? Must determine satisfactory performance in accordance with the manufacturer's recommendations. Am I willing to sign the bottom line for the work performed? If the work performed on the aircraft, airframe, aircraft engine, propeller, appliance, or component part has been performed satisfactorily, the signature, certificate number, and the kind of certificate held by the person approving the work must be noted. The signature constitutes the approval for return to service only for the work performed. Am I willing to fly in the aircraft once it is approved for return to service? It's the ultimate test for the work task accomplished. It assures confidence in the work performed. It increases reliability and decreases liability. It maintains public trust and maintains integrity. Maintenance Personal Minimums Checklist. Keep it close to your toolbox.
When Phil was here earlier, he left this too. This is the new 2010 calendar. It addresses only one of the dirty dozen, fatigue. You want to know why? As I said earlier, the FAA safety team is focusing on general aviation this year. One issue that's being highlighted is the issue of fatigue and how it impacts us on and off the job. The FAA has put together this pocket calendar that highlights fatigue issues and how you can better manage them. A lot of years on the road has made me a fatigue expert, sort of. This fatigue survival calendar offers serious ways to deal with fatigue every day of the year. It says it's for mechanics, but I'm giving a copy to my band, the crew, and especially our drivers and pilots. Be sure and get yourself one and those that you work with. Here's Liz again to give us a more in-depth look at this life-saving tool.
Some in the aviation industry continue to see fatigue as a normal and unavoidable part of aviation maintenance. They consider that with enough effort, tired workers can continue to perform their jobs effectively. However, the evidence shows that fatigue has a very real, detrimental impact on your safety and the aircraft you maintain. Fatigue is a known contributor to on-the-job mishaps, personal injury, poor personal health, injury to others, and the quality of your family and/or social life. If you're a mechanic in GA operations, you may be faced with too many jobs and not enough time. If you miss a deadline or turn a job down, it may result in loss of income or loss of a customer. What we must realize is that income also comes with a price of responsibility. When you sign off on an overhaul, you're taking responsibility for the safety of that aircraft. So each of us must ask ourselves, am I fatigued? Am I safe for duty?
As Aaron told you earlier, I'm Phil Randall. I'm responsible for the airworthiness portion of the Faasteam. I am tasked with overseeing the programs and products that we are developing in our attempt to reduce the number of accidents where maintenance is one of the causal factors, or is the causal factor, for all phases of aviation. During our first 3 years, the Faasteam is concentrated on outsourced maintenance. And now, as Aaron mentioned, the Faasteam is headed in a new direction in 2010. We're turning our attention to those of you in general aviation. Earlier, Aaron shared a few charts with you that showed the majority of the accidents in which maintenance was either one of the causal factors or was the causal factor took place in general aviation. The charts also showed that as AMTs, we often failed to follow procedures, especially when it comes to annual inspections and during the installation of parts and components. The data used to create these charts came from the NTSB accident database and from several other internal FAA databases. Recently, during a meeting that I attended, someone stated that one of our national aviation associations had recently completed a study on general aviation aircraft maintenance and inspection records. The study found that over 60% of all GA aircraft have at least one AD that has not been complied with. I hope your first reaction was the same as mine. There's no way that I ever missed an AD. This type of news, whether accurate or not, is directed toward you and I as AMTs. If this is true, then this means that only 40% of all GA aircraft have had one or more annual inspections performed on them properly. It appears that we have not been complying with the FARs. According to FAR 91417A5, the maintenance records must contain the current status of applicable airworthiness directives, including, for each, the method of compliance, the AD number, and revision date. If the AD involves recurring action, the date and time when the next action is required. During my time as a GA Aviation Safety Inspector for the FAA, I performed many record inspections, and this portion of Part 91 was the one that I often found not to be in compliance. My question to you, why? Can you tell me why this happened and is continuing to happen? Some of you are probably thinking I'm trying to find out who did this so that we, the FAA, can go after them. Not true. Like I said earlier, my job and that of the Faasteam is to reduce accidents, not increase our aviation safety inspectors' workload. Stop and think. If over 60% of the GA aircraft have not been inspected properly, pretty sure that some of us within the FAA that worked in GA before beginning our FAA careers may be just as responsible, don't you? So, how do we work together to correct this problem? First, we all have to admit that there is a problem and that this problem involves all of us. Secondly, I would like for you to share your thoughts with me on why this is a problem in aircraft maintenance, especially in general aviation. We have established a special email address for this purpose. It is amt@faaSafety.gov. I would also be interested in other problems and or concerns that you may have concerning aircraft maintenance. The Faasteam, along with other lines of business within the FAA, has been very busy developing new tools for your use. Our hopes are that your use of the personal minimum checklist will reduce the number of accidents and incidents where maintenance is the causal factor. During 2010, the Faasteam Program Managers, or FPMs, and their Faasteam representatives, our industry volunteers, will be making presentations on the contents of this video to airframe and power plant schools and to non-certificated maintenance facility personnel across the country. They will be sharing many, if not all, the Faasteam products that you have seen in this video. We need for each of you, the A&P with an inspection authorization, to step up and be the leaders that many in the GA community consider you to be. We need your help to address these maintenance problems. How can you do this? First, by ensuring that you, as an IA, serve as a role model for all GA AMTs by performing all inspections and maintenance activities in accordance with established written procedures. Second, by using the email address I gave you to send us your thoughts, ideas, and suggestions on how we, the Faasteam, and you might best work together to reduce accidents caused by AMTs. Third, by joining the Faasteam as a Faasteam lead representative, or as a service provider to work with us to get the word out to all GA AMTs and aircraft owners that might work on their own aircraft. What is that word? That we have a problem and that we together are going to fix it. Whether we fix this problem is solely up to you and the Faasteam, so join us. Now here's Aaron again.
I think that you can tell from what Phil just said that the Faasteam wants to work with us to address safety issues. Well, that about wraps it up, but I want you to remember a few things. Use the personal minimum checklist. Get yourself a 2010 fatigue calendar. Those of you that are in management, see your local Faasteam representative for your copies of the Manager Creed and make it your creed. Get yourself registered on FAASafety.gov. Enroll in the AMT Awards program. If you're also a pilot, enroll and get started in the Wings program. Be sure to send Phil your thoughts and comments on general aviation safety issues at amt@faaSafety.gov. at FAAsafety.gov. Well, gotta go, so keep it safe.
1, 2, 3, 4.